All right, everyone. So we're going to jump into it here and go over the trades from today. ALLR was actually my biggest winner. It's currently up about 50%. It was up a high of over 130%. And this happened very quickly this morning on breaking news. So this is another setup very similar to what gave me profit on, pretty much every other day this week. So this is our chart here that we're working with on ALR at exactly 8 a.m. top of the hour. News comes out and it spikes from 140, 160, 180 up to 2. Does a little micro pullback for a second, then surges up to 240, 250, and it just continues going higher. So I was really pretty impressed with the price action on this. I locked up $2,494 trading it, but I'm red on the other stocks I traded, which gives me a profit today of only $1,000. So this is one of my smaller green days here. But because it's the beginning of the month, I'm trying to focus on consistency, hitting those base hits, and build a cushion. So on my first trade on ALLR, I got in at $2.68. And this was right in this move here. We peaked right about here at 285. We dipped down for a second. I bought this dip, and then we surge higher up to 317, and in an instant I was up $1,000. It was like a picture perfect dip trade. Now if I show you the 10-second chart, I think you'll get a better sense of why I bought there. So on the 10-second chart right here, first of all, we squeezed up to 184, and at this point right here I watched it and I was like, I don't know, it's a little cheap. I'm not sure if I didn't see what the news was yet, so I was like, I don't know, I'm just going to wait. It ends up squeezing higher, going up to 240, dipping down, punching a bit higher here. And then right in this area, we formed a, let's see, actually, no, I'm sorry, it was, yeah, and then the high there was 85. Let me just make sure I have this timing right. Let's see. Yep, there we go. Okay, so on this candle right here, we hit a high of 70. We pulled back. We pushed up here to 85. And on this pullback right here, we started to form. We had the first red candle. So we had a red candle on the 1-minute chart. It dips down a little bit more right down here, and we got this bottoming tail. I ended up buying that bottoming tail, and it almost immediately surges up to 290 to 3, and I'm up 20 cents a share. First position, 5,000 shares. So following my rules there, even though this is a cheaper stock and I could certainly afford more shares, I went with small size because this is the rule that I'm following. I don't size up until I'm up over $1,000. So, and then I got another dip right here, and we got more profit on the move up to 320. So I ended up locking up on this move right here about $1,100. And I was like, that is a solid start to the day. We then go sideways for a little bit, but we hold it about $3. And I got back in for the break of 310 right here. We squeeze up to a high of 318, 320. We pull back, we drop down, we come back up. I get another trade right here for the break through the high. And we end up peaking right in this area at about $3.40. Now, if we pull the chart out a little bit more, you'll see that what ended up happening was we sort of sold off. And then my final trade on this was at the open. I took this breakout right here. I stopped out for a small loss. I got back in right here, and I took my profit as it squeezed up. But look at this jackknife rejection. It dropped all the way back down. So after that, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to trade this. I'm going to leave it alone. And unfortunately, today, I ended up having my first few trades on ALLR and getting myself up about $2,000 on it. And then I took an $1,100 loss on SIDU. SIDU cost me $1,100, and I was up now only $900. So what I had to do was bring my share size back down. So once I crossed over $1,000 of profit on the day, I increased my share size so I could trade more aggressively. But then once I had a loss, as I did on SIDU, we got this flush back down, high volume red candle. I said, well, I got to bring my share size back down. So I brought my share size back down to the cap of 5,000 shares. And with 5,000 shares, got a small loss on SGBX, a small loss on XBP, and another $400 of profit on ALLR. So my range today in P&L peaked at 2,000 on the day, dropped down to 900, bounced back up to 1,400, and I'm settling in here at 1,100. It's kind of a bummer because it's early in the month and it's always nice to get a really nice cushion. I had a nice green day yesterday, which I was happy with. Today is not the most exciting green day. It's obviously a smaller green day, but I do not feel emotionally activated, even in spite of being red on 3 out of 4 stocks. I feel good that I'm at least have some nice winners on ALLR, and I just have to focus on hitting these base hits, being consistent, and on days when we're not getting good follow through, like this side do, it pops up and then dumps here, or SGBX. This one does something similar. It pops up and dumps. So if this is the market we're in, then all right, today's a little bit choppy, and I just have to accept that and not overstay my welcome. It's a little bit funny because we did have some good moves yesterday, and we had some good moves the day before. So it feels a little like hit and miss. One day we'll have some great opportunities, and then the next day it's dead. At least we have some opportunities each week, even if we can't have them every single day. At least we have a few each week. So I shouldn't complain too much, but I have $1,000 more in my pocket than I had an hour ago, or a couple hours ago, that is. And that's always a good morning. Any morning I can maintain discipline, follow the rules, and come away with profit is good. But I have to say that because my feeling is still kind of like, it's a little bit slow market here today. So yeah, so a little slow here today, but anyway, so SGBX, this was very choppy, did a reverse split and had news, just a nasty rejection, didn't hold up. XBP squeezing up, had some news, but not a big move. Lost a little bit on that one. CZOO, I had kind of on watch, but my expectations on it were pretty low. I just didn't think we would get clean price action on that. So, the later we get into the day with attention dispersed, it just sort of makes it really difficult to find anything good to trade. If something becomes obvious, then we can start getting dialed in. But it's going to take a bit for something to become obvious, because traders are clearly a bit more hesitant right now, as they should be, because things are choppy today. If we look at the overall market, S&P 500, the SPY, you can see that we're in a little bit of a pullback here. We had this nice move up for about 6 months, dipped back down in April. Market was down, so broke the green streak, and we're kind of bear flagging here. Right? Dropped, sort of going sideways. So, we may end up making another move to the downside, selling off a bit more. 200 moving averages down here around 476, something like that. So, it's that's a little bit of a headwind. I think we've got some economic data that came out that kind of put a little damper on things, but that's okay. We just, all we can do is trade the market that we're in and try to maintain discipline. And if you can maintain discipline, then you can have small green days like I'm having today. And then when the market does pick back up, you're going to lock up a couple nice big green days, and your account's just going to be growing nice and steady. It is traders who get emotionally hijacked, who get frustrated, who get angry, who start just revenge trading. Those are the traders who are going to get themselves in trouble. So be patient, maintain that self-control, that discipline. And if this is a market that for you is feeling like it's not super rewarding, take it as a time to practice a little bit in the simulator, right? No reason to overstay your welcome. The stock VINO, you can see the spreads on it, 16-cent spread with no volume. You could buy at 5.16, you'll sell at 5, and you'll be down instantly, right? Maybe it pops up a little bit, but it's got no volume. There's no liquidity. One big order goes through and it's back down to 5.10. So this is the challenge with trading in a thin market. There's not a lot of enthusiasm. There's not a lot of buyers. People are just sort of waiting for the next one to make a big move. So I always find these kind of markets to be difficult to trade. And I try to mitigate my risk by reducing my share size and just being a little bit more selective. I definitely broke the ice on SGBX and XBP. Small losses, kind of unnecessary. Saidu, it made sense to trade that because it was popping up with news, but just another rejection. So anyways, got to manage your risk, take it slow. And for those that are tuning in, if you enjoyed these recaps, I hope you hit the thumbs up. I hope you subscribe to the channel for more episodes on trading strategy and recaps just like this. And I'll remind you, as always, that trading is risky. My results aren't typical. So manage your risk, take it slow, and I'll see you guys back here tomorrow.